Hey, Rob from DJI here, and today I'm reviewing a Q3H. My copy of this camera came from a brand called Gizcam, a flattering name, but it's the exact same thing as the generic. This camera was advertised as having a Sony Sensor and an Allwinner V3 processor, but I have my doubts about it actually being Sony. I'd honestly suggest looking elsewhere, as for only a few dollars more there are significantly better cameras available based on a real Sony sensor. From the outside, the Q3H looks pretty standard. It's got a 2-inch screen on the back that looks good indoors, but it's quite hard to read in sunlight. The battery door on this camera is far easier to get into than other cameras, which is a good thing. It comes with standard, cheap quality accessories that work fine. One thing that surprised me about this camera that is startlingly good is its user interface. The menus and options are all cleanly laid out. Kudos to that. The video quality of this camera is a complete mixed bag. As I said earlier, I had my doubts about it actually being a Sony sensor, and here's why. This camera's ideal resolution, as in its only usable resolution, is 2K 30 frames per second. In 2K it looks great, as if it's a 1-to-1 readout of the sensor. Images are sharp with a good amount of detail and the video is smooth. Color is okay too, though the camera tends to underexpose and occasionally jump between exposures. 2K is about all it's got going for it, and that's not enough to save this camera. Every other resolution is utter garbage. 1080p 60, trash. 1080p 30, a smudgy mess. 4K, flickery. It's like the moment this camera has to resize the image, its output just sucks. Compare these 1080p freeze frames between a cheapo $30 action cam and the Q3H. The lack of detail in the Q3H is just mind-blowing. Check out this comparison footage. When the size is reduced as it is now, it doesn't look too bad. But when we look up close, the difference in detail becomes quite noticeable. Still images don't fare any better. In any situation other than perfect lighting, still images look like a painting, with details smudged by noise reduction into oblivion. And to add insult to injury, my copy of this camera was seriously flawed. The lens is blurry on the right side, and at any output there's this strange artifacting near the edges of the sensor. Check out this still image zoomed up close. That's not normal. It's visible in any solid color frame too. It's even visible in the video if you look up close.
This is a voice test. If you can hear me, that means it was successful. I'm currently standing about 2 feet away from the camera. I never know what to say on these things, so hopefully this is good enough for you can tell whether or not you can hear me.
Overall, I personally don't think this camera is worth it. If you're looking for a better option in this price range, check out the SooCoo C30. It's based on the Sony IMX078 and the Novatech processor, which I found to be far more reliable in terms of video quality. Thank you for watching. Visit DJI for more.